In this video, I'm going to be talking about YouTube ads content targeting versus YouTube ads audience targeting. Stick around, this is going to be a high-level overview, but extremely valuable. My name is Kyle Sulerud. I am the owner and founder of AdLeg, a marketing agency that specializes in YouTube ads. And specifically, we specialize in YouTube ads for webinars. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, now would be a good time because this channel is all about YouTube ads. So if you're interested in YouTube ads or you want to get into YouTube ads, follow my content and you're going to learn a lot. Now, at its core, YouTube ads is about putting a video ad in front of people, hopefully in front of the right people. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. Well, there's a lot of ways, but there's a couple main categories. The first one would be content. So we're putting an ad in front of specific types of content. And the other way would be audience targeting. So we're putting our ad in front of specific types of people. And with audience targeting, it doesn't matter what they're watching. You're targeting the person, not the content. With content targeting, it doesn't matter who they are. You're targeting the content and not the person. So let me break this down a little further. So starting with content targeting, there are a few different ways to tell the YouTube ads system where to run your ads. What specific content do you want your ads to show on? You can target YouTube channels, and if those channels are enabled for advertising, then your ad can run on the specific channels you are targeting. You can also target specific videos. And if those videos are enabled for advertising, then your ad can run on those specific videos. Now, when you're targeting specific channels and videos, your targeting can be pretty limited, but you wanna take advantage of these types of targeting as much as possible. Do a ton of research to find as many relevant channels and videos to target as possible. Now, there is some targeting that allows you to get a little more broad and still be targeting content. So Google gives us topic targeting and a fairly new feature called video lineups. Both of these options are lists that are built by Google. So they are defining videos by certain topics, or they're putting videos in these video lineup categories. So the big limitation here is that if Google has not created a topic or a video lineup that is relevant to the customers you are trying to reach, then you're basically out of luck. But if one of those topics or one of those video lineup categories is a good match for your target customer, this can be really powerful targeting because you're able to get in front of a lot of content at once. Another type of content targeting for YouTube ads is actually websites and apps. Now, this may sound weird because if you're thinking about running YouTube ads, you're thinking of those ads running on YouTube, right? But if you enable video partners on the display network, there are some websites and some mobile apps that will actually play your YouTube ads. The video partner network usually is not something you would enable. In fact, I recommend turning that off to begin with. But if there's a specific website or a specific mobile app that your customers are hanging out on, then you can potentially get some good traffic through your YouTube campaigns by targeting those websites or those apps specifically. I will caution you that if you're targeting a website or a mobile app, you want to make sure most of the people using that app are your target customer. In general, the video partner display network targeting does not work very well. So you don't want to put your video on an app just because a small percentage of people using that app would potentially be a good customer for you. You want to make sure most of the people using that app would actually be a good customer for you. And then the last type of content targeting that I'll talk about is keyword targeting. So you can add a list of keywords into your YouTube ad targeting and literally add as many keywords as you want. And YouTube is then going to put your ad on videos related to those keywords. And there is a big but here. Your ad is not only going to show on content related to those keywords, but your ads will also show to audiences who have shown an interest in those keywords, even if they aren't watching content related to those keywords. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing because audience targeting can also work very well, but it's something to definitely keep in mind. And let me use that to segue into the audience targeting options. With audience targeting, you are targeting the person. You're targeting things people are interested in, or you're targeting people based on their characteristics. So let me break these down. When you're targeting people based on what they are interested in, one of the ways to do this is with keyword targeting. So like I was just saying, keywords can allow you to target content related to those keywords, but it will also target people who are interested in those keywords regardless of the type of content they're watching. So because of this crossover, keyword targeting can sometimes be very broad and can sometimes not work very well because you think you're targeting people based on these keywords, and Google is just extending that reach so far that it becomes ineffective. But by the same token, keyword targeting can be one of the best opportunities to scale a campaign. So when you find good keywords that are working well, oftentimes there's opportunity to spend more on those keywords and invest more budget, reaching more target customers. Another type of audience you can target is an in-market audience. And these are lists that Google has put together for us, and they're based on what people are in the market for. What are they researching? What are they actively planning, or what are they looking to buy right now? Google has a lot of pre-built in-market lists. If your target customers would be a good match for one of those lists, that's probably going to be a really good list for you to target. But here too, you might not find a good list. You might not find any in-market list that your customers would be on. If that's the case, don't be afraid to skip it. You don't need to use every type of targeting available. Another type of audience targeting with a fairly limited number of options is affinity targeting. And this is limited because Google provides us with a fairly limited list of affinity audiences. Essentially, an affinity audience is something that would identify someone based on their interests, based on their habits, things they have done over time. So going back to in-market, this would be a shorter interest period, people who are actively researching something recently. An affinity audience is more of a long-term interest, something that would define someone over time. There are also custom intent audiences and custom affinity audiences that you can create. That's right, you actually build these audiences by giving Google a list of keywords or a list of websites, and the system then tries to find people similar to those keywords or similar to those websites, people who have been searching those keywords or browsing those websites. This type of targeting can be hit or miss, and I actually want to go a lot deeper into custom intent and custom affinity audiences. So I'm going to be releasing a video on that in the future. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and you can get that more detailed look at the custom audiences. And then I also mentioned that audiences are not just what people are interested in, but audiences are also who they are. So this is things like age and gender and marital status, things that would objectively define a person. These are also built into audiences. And you can layer these things on top of each other. So you can layer an age group on top of another type of audience, or you can layer an age group on top of a type of content targeting. So this allows you to narrow your focus and really try to reach your number one target customer. As I said at the beginning of this video, this has been an overview of YouTube ad targeting. I basically wanted to compare content targeting to audience targeting and let you know what the differences were and what some of the possibilities were. I'm actually going to be going really deep into targeting in a series of YouTube videos that I'm going to be releasing over the next couple months. And each video is going to pull apart one specific type of targeting and we're going to get very, very detailed. So be sure to subscribe so you get notified when those videos come out. And if you want my company to run your YouTube ads for you, then click the link in the description. You can fill out an application. We don't work with everybody. We're actually pretty exclusive, but if we cannot help you, there's a good chance we can point you in the right direction of someone else who might be able to help. So there's no harm in filling out the application. Go do it now. Again, my name is Kyle Sulerud, and I'll see you in the next video.